What is up YouTube, this is MJ ProCuber here, and guys, in this video I'm going to be doing my first ever critique video. The cuber that I'm going to be critiquing today is VK Cuber. He's been recently asking for a lot of help in trying to like improve and get like sub 12. So he's just uploaded an average of 11.7, and I just figured I might critique it since he's been wanting to sort of get some tips and on how to improve and stuff. Some advice or whatever, feedback. So yeah, let's just get started with the first solve. Alright, so the first solve was 11.53 seconds. There wasn't really much wrong with this solve. So he started on the white cross, so you can see here we got the pieces here, here. I believe he held it in this position, started with the green in front and the yellow on top. Pieces here, pretty simple cross. What you did was, so we moved the red over to here, and then you put the blue over here, inserted into, and then before inserting the red you did the, it was like one regrab, but you know, it wasn't that bad. Overall the cross I would say was pretty good. Just the biggest flaw I would say was the cross to F12 transition. Like here you sort of pause a little bit, realize, oh okay, we got this pair here, did the red blue, insert in the back. I feel like that was like not a bad choice of pair to do, but just the slight pause after the cross, I feel like that was a little bit, you know, that could have saved you a solid second probably if you just planned that out during the cross, especially being a very simple cross. You should have been out at least playing out your first pair. And then now we got these pieces next. You went straight into that, pair them up like that, and then inserted there. Not much else. I probably would have done the same. Okay, so back to where you finished the cross off. I probably would have seen these two first, so I would have probably done that and then insert in the back. This works just as well doing it because you can at least see where these pieces are going. So that was no problems there. And then you just went and inserted over here. Now here you saw these pairs, I'm assuming you saw that straight away, so you immediately went and do that, insert in the back. And then we got these two, you did this trick which is very nice, definitely like that, where you do, so you don't have to like rotate and then rotate back, you just go like that, just nice, fluid, execute. And the way you executed was actually pretty nice, like no lockups or anything like that, which is good. And then you got to OLL. I feel like your finger tricks were a little bit sort of unique, but they actually worked pretty well. Like honestly, that was really very fast execution of the OLL. Yeah, you sort of went like that, like with your thumb, which I wouldn't really recommend. But you seem to be got it down pat, like there was no lockups or any sort of slip ups or whatever. So I mean, just do whatever you feels comfortable. But yeah, you definitely didn't do it like bad or anything. But yeah, then you had peel up. Alright, that was the first solve. Very good solve. Not many issues, probably just the biggest thing was just the pause from cross to F12. If you could have planned out your first pair like immediately, that could have saved you probably nearly a second. So yeah, that's probably the only issue I found in that solve. Alright. Okay, so this is the next solve. You had a 12.83, I think it was 12.85 seconds. So the cross is pretty simple cross, like a rotationless execution. But yeah, so we'll just get to it. So you just went these two, green, orange, put it back, and then went like that. Very simple cross, nothing wrong there. But here's where it is. I feel like this is probably a reoccurring issue, is the cross to F12 transition. I noticed that you don't inspect very long, so that could be an issue. Maybe you spend an extra 5 seconds inspecting, trying to find the first pair or something like that, because I find after you do the cross, you pause for a little bit trying to find the first pair. That's probably the biggest issue that I've seen so far, at least, and probably the only issue actually, to be honest. But yeah, so as you notice after the solve, you like paused, went over here, and then you went back, and then you went to the red green, insert those in the back. Yeah, so that was a big issue, but you eventually found a pair, and then you went to the blue orange next, inserted those, and then you saw these two at the back here. That's probably the only, because you probably saw this piece and then you immediately know that's not the green orange, so you knew that was a piece at the back. That's good. Went and inserted that, and you saw these two were paired up, immediately went in that, no problems there. So overall the F12 of this solve was definitely nice, just that big pause after the cross was very, you know, diminishing. Like, you could have, that was like nearly 2 seconds wasted, not gonna lie. But yeah, so you went into OLL, and then here you got an E-perm, and I really like the way you recognize this. I usually always try and line up the edges before I recognize, but I saw that you saw that you recognize it pretty well. I'm very bad at recognizing E-perms, but yeah, because you can only do it a certain way. If you do it this way, it's just going to give you a H-perm. So you saw like that, went like that. Yeah, execution was pretty alright. Nothing really wrong with that. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so this is the next solve. Once again, pretty simple cross. We got the pieces here, 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 here. So what you did was set these two up first. So you went blue, boom, boom, and then insert that last pair, and then realign the cross. And then here again, this is another 3 times in a row. Big pause after the cross, and you didn't really know what pair to do first. So you went here, you did a couple of these, saw these two, made a mistake here, we went like that, and then you realized. So yeah, like, that's a reoccurring issue. I would definitely work on across the F12 transition. So once again, just try and use that extra 5 seconds. I noticed that you don't use that much inspection time, so try and use like as much as possible in playing out your first pair. So that's the biggest issue that I've seen so far, pretty much the only really. But yeah, then you went and executed that insert in the back, and then you saw these two green orange, get them out, insert that, and then you saw these two next. So nothing wrong there, that's completely normal, pretty much what I would do, something like that. And then final pair, you went there, did this insertion. That's a very good advanced F12 insert, F12 sort of case. And then you had OLL, nothing wrong there, 0. Alright, so that was a good solve. Just that the only issue I found was the big pause. Like, it was like 5 seconds before you inserted your first pair, before you, like, you know, paired up your first pair, which is that red blue. But yeah, so that's a big issue that I've been seeing lately. Alright, so this is the fourth solve. It's at 11.59. So we got the cross pieces here, here, here. So you notice you could bring this blue over here, and so this green and blue can be in line, can be solved with respect to each other. So you went, and then you saw this orange can be there next to the green. So you did this, sort of like a D and then U prime type thing. And then you inserted that, and then you moved these to the opposites so the red can be placed in. So overall, not too bad of an execution. So yeah, not too bad of a cross execution. It's pretty much what I would have done probably. It's probably the only best sort of case you can do. Here you didn't have quite as much of a pause. It was a slight pause, but it wasn't that bad, I will admit that. So it was very little pause here, so that's definitely good. This past 3 solves you had big pauses after the cross, so here you didn't have a good pause. Merely saw these blue orange, went into that, inserted there. The only difference I would have done then is, instead of lining them up like that, I would have just seen them straight like that, just went like this. That's like, I think, 2 moves less. So yeah, like, it's a little bit more quicker. You got that, and then I would have seen this green orange at the back, done something like that, or done a keyhole, I go like that. So yeah, that's probably the only difference I would have made, just in these two, executed like that. But yeah, let's just go with what you did. So you, instead of that, and like that, here you had this green orange, so you didn't see anything here, and then you saw these two. done that, no problems there. And then you must have known this was green orange at the back because you know this is yellow, and then boom boom boom, so you went with that, very good. And then you saw these two and inserted that, very simple, not many issues there. So overall your F12 is really nice, like not many issues with your F12, just a sort of transition between the cross and F12 is what I'm seeing so far. OLL here, you could have done an OLL CP, see how these two are opposite, or you could have noticed by these two are the same, you could have just done it there, would have gave you a EPLL. So either you could have done it from here, just a lefty sledge, or if you done it from here you go F and then go like that. That just gives you an EPLL, which is a lot better than an EPAM in my opinion, but you did a normal standard ALG which gave you an EPAM, so yeah, like that's probably the only issues. Learn a couple of nice neat little OLCP cases. There's a lot of those sort of cases, like especially with this ALG where you got these two are opposite and these two are the same, so you got these two are the same and these two are opposite. You just do the standard ALG, but when they're like this, when they're both opposite and both opposite, you just do an inverse sledge. So yeah, there's a couple of those little neat tricks. If you really want to learn some new ALGs, that's definitely worth it, I reckon. Okay, so the final solve, it was your fastest solve of the average. So we got the pieces, cross pieces here, here, and here. So again, kind of simple cross, not really. So what you did was with these green orange. So you brought this all the way down, lined up with these, and then you had this red here. So you went like sort of like this, and then insert like that. Not too many issues here, but what I would have done. So yeah, what I would have done to preserve this pair here, I would have done probably hold it here, put the red right there, so when you insert these two you go like that, and so you got these two, and then just do a D2, so just to preserve that pair, so you can just go straight into that and then get these two and do something like that, But yeah, so let's just go with what you did, which is that. So pretty simple, straight here. This solve again wasn't really that big of a pause after cross, which is very good. You immediately saw these two, did sort of this thing. I probably wouldn't have done this, like right there. I personally would have just executed it from here, so I would have just probably went like something like that, but I mean that works too. But yeah, so that's personally what I would have done, but let's just go with what you did. Insert in the back, and then you did a U, and then you saw these two, the red green in the back, insert those. Saw these two red blues, did those, and then over here pair these up, and then here instead of just inserting, you actually did a sledgehammer at the back, which is very good. Orient some edges, gave you a nice OLO case, and then a lucky PLL skip. So overall, nothing really wrong with that solve. Maybe just a slight sort of bad F12 choices, but nothing too bad, nothing too serious there. Alright, so overall my thoughts on your sort of average, just based on this average. I feel like the biggest issue that I found was just the sort of planning out of your solves, so like the cross and the F12 inspection time. So I feel like you should just spend a little bit more time planning out the first pair, because a lot of those crosses you could easily plan out the first pair if you just spend a little bit more time inspecting. So yeah, that's probably the only big issue I found. A couple other little issues was probably like a couple little bad F12 choices, but nothing too serious. Like everyone makes some, even I still make those bad F12 choices to this day. But yeah, like biggest issue was just the cross to F12 transition. That can eat up like 2 seconds. Like there was one solve, I think it was the third one, where it took like 5 seconds to like even set up the first pair. Like it was 5 seconds before you even set up the first pair. So I feel like that's big issue you should focus on. Just and it's pretty easy to fix. Just spend a couple more 5 seconds more inspecting, just looking for the first pair. Especially for a lot of those cases, the crosses are like really simple. You could have easily just planned out the first pair, and that would have saved you probably a couple of seconds in the solve time. So overall, not too many issues. That's probably the only big issue that I found. Overall, besides that, your last layer was fine. Couple of sort of things you could learn is probably some OLCPs and stuff, you know, those cases that I was talking about with the opposites and that. And if you don't know full COLL, which is like when you like know like these type of cases, you know, like they're pretty simple. Most of the time they're like just like soons or something like that, or like something like this, where you just go like that and it gives you all oriented edges. So yeah, like definitely learn COL. That doesn't take that long. It's just about 20 odd hours, 20 something hours. And most of them you probably already know. But yeah, so that's the only sort of. Besides that, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped you, VK Cuber or VK Cubed. I really hope that helped. I really enjoyed doing this. I usually don't. It's my first ever critique solve, so it probably wasn't that very well put together, but you know, hopefully this helped you and you can learn from it. But yeah, besides that, thanks for watching. MJ Pro Keeper out.